Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk, your home of betting tips and analysis, not just for boxing but other sports too. So please do check them out in the description of this video. We are here for boxing, Elliot. We are here for a unification fight in the welterweight division as Jaron boots Ennis and Eimantas Stanionis face off on Saturday, April 12th in Atlantic City. Great fight, undefeated against undefeated. Two of the best welterweights in the world, putting their world titles on the line. We're going to have a unified champion after the fight. Will it be Boots Ennis? Will it be Stanionis? We will give our predictions, of course, at the end of this video, but we will talk about a couple of other pressing topics first. One of which I want to talk about is Boots Ennis, mate. A lot of talk that after this, there's the likelihood that he'll move up to 154. And I want to ask you, do you believe that Boots Ennis win a world title up at 154 and even 160? Do you see it? Where do you see Jaron Boots Ennis ceiling?
First of all, thank you for that eloquent introduction as always. Very tough question, I think. Very, very, very tough question. Just because I look at, you look at the 154 division, and that is a stacked and sort of quite decent division, to be honest with you, I think. So like you're looking at it going, does Boots Ennis have the ability to win a world title? Yes, he has the ability to win a world title, I think, up in the divisions. But you look at like now, and obviously Crawford's going to fight Canelo is in that kind of marquee fight, but obviously it depends where Crawford kind of campaigns. You got the likes of Ortiz Jr., very impressive last time out against Madrimov. Madrimov himself's a good fighter. And then, the likes of even Fundora kicking around there. I can't even spell the other guy's name, Tataliev. Again, this is a kind of hard division for him to get in. Do I think he could win a world title? Yes, I do think he could win a world title there, to be honest with you. But I think it's hard. And you look at the names that are in there, it's hard. I said there's some of the names we sort of mentioned there. Like even would I Boots versus Ortiz Jr. hell of a fight. Would I have in that? You sort of pick him out. You go maybe he could, but it'd be challenging. You look over at middleweight, and interestingly, I think middleweight division is not actually as competitive as that super welterweight division. So obviously Janovic, good fighter. Again, we've said on other channels and on other sort of previews. Check out the preview with the one we've already done for this week and then you're Nugase. But you look at that and you go, Heaney's obviously a big fight. That'd be a good fight, I think. To be honest with you, I mean, he's obviously a bit bigger, but it'd be a good fight. But then look at the other names: Dames, Shiraz. Maybe Shiraz moves up. Maybe Shiraz struggles at the weight. So if you can kind of maybe get a fight where he's not fighting the likes of Zanovic sort of straight up, or he's not necessarily fighting Carlos Adames, there'll still be a size difference there. Maybe he can win a world title at middleweight, frankly. And weirdly, I kind of see that being possibly more achievable and easier in the short to medium term than I do actually seeing winning one at super welterweight. But what about yourself?
Yeah, that's interesting, mate. I think it's a matter of when, not if, Boots moves up. I think 154 absolutely stacked at the minute, as you said. I totally agree, mate. I don't see him fighting at 160 maybe for a while, because I think it would be, that's what would be going up a full stone basically from welter, wouldn't he? The £7 up from 147 to 154, probably not a lot. I think he's a big enough welterweight, Ennis. So I think 154 would be a good division. It's just it's another massive player in the division, isn't it? Really, it is, as you said, a stacked division. You can name like 10 fighters who all on their day are probably capable of beating each other. World class division at the minute, one of the hottest in boxing, I'd say, right now. And as you said, 160 is it one of the weakest maybe in boxing at the minute. So as you said, I kind of agree with what you said there. I mean, I think it would maybe actually be easier to win a world title at middleweight than light middle, but I don't see Ennis going up to 160 anytime soon. I mean, he might not even go up to 154. He might hang around at welter and try and win all of the belts. Who knows? But yeah, I see him. He win a world title. Probably say. I'm going to say no. I don't think he wins a world title at 154, given the current landscape of fighters there. But I could see him winning one at 160 in the future. Say maybe he fell short at 154 and then went up to 160 after that. Would he become a world champion up there? Probably, yeah. But again, it could change over the next 12, 18 months, 2 years, whatever. It will have an ever changing landscape. We might come back in a couple of years' time, and middleweight's a hotbed. Light middleweight is very, very limited. Who knows? But yeah, interesting one for me, mate. I think, as I said, this is a unification at welterweight. Boots is the IBF champion. Stanionis, of course, has the WBA belt. Barrios, the WBC, and Norman Jr., the WBO. Who's the number one there? Is it one of those four champions? Do you have Boots as your number one? Perhaps Stanionis? Is it just the winner of this fight you have as number one? Or do you favour Mario Barrios or even Brad Norman Jr.?
Yeah, a very interesting question. I think for me, actually, you hit the nail on the head there in that question where you say, is it the winner of this fight possibly number one? I think it probably is for me. I think you look at kind of Boots, who he's kind of fought, who he's kind of got out of the way already. You look at obviously handled like Avenis and very, very sort of handsomely, and he's obviously quite high up in the rankings. Norman Jr. has a good win last time out against Santella. So again, that's sort of credible undefeated fighter as well. But for me, it's between these two guys that are contesting for this. And I actually, to be honest with you, without wanting to give my prediction away too soon, I do think that Boots is probably number one in the division. I think by far and away we're talking about Boots being a kind of special fighter. I think everyone kind of says that. He's kind of one of those sort of elite level fighters. The guy's definitely world level. Stanionis, to be honest with you, he's only had 15 fights or something. So again, he's got obviously a lot of time to sort of grow and develop. But for me, it's between these two. But I think these two are sort of a way ahead above the sort of Barrios and Norman Jr. personally, even though they're obviously world champions of the division.
Yeah, interesting. I think the winner of this is number one as well. Again, I kind of suppose it leads us on to our predictions. I think when you look at the other champions, though, I think they're all very credible fighters and good fighters. But I back Boots to beat Barrios handily enough, probably stop him. I'd back him to beat Norman Jr. as well. Maybe haven't seen as much of Norman Jr., but I would be backing Boots to win that fight. Stanionis is the hardest fight for him at welterweight at the minute, of course, out of the champions anyway, I think. So we'll see. Time will tell how that goes. So yeah, I do make him. I right now I'd probably say Jaron Ennis is number one. Just kind of that record, 33-0, 29 KOs, that body of work. Yes, I mean he doesn't have an overly stacked record either. His resume is slightly padded, but I mean he probably is the best at welterweight right now. And which leads us nicely on to our predictions to round things off. Elliot, how do you see this one playing out? This unification in the welterweight division at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey on Saturday, April 12th. Is Boots Ennis getting his hand raised and adding another belt to his collection? Or is the Lithuanian Stanionis handing Jaron Ennis the first defeat of his career? How's it going?
You know what? I think my main question is whether it goes 12 for me. I'm saying that in the predictions is the sort of toughest thing for me to sort of think. I think Jaron Ennis wins first and foremost. I think Jaron Ennis kind of it's a very good fight. I make him kind of clear favourite for me. Having looked at the bookies, I think kind of sort of 60-40, 65, sort of 35 kind of favourite. Does he stop Stanionis? That's the main question for me. I mean, Stanionis hasn't fought obviously anyone like Boots before, but again, 9 KOs and 15 fights. But probably his best win, probably would you say, is kind of not his best win. The no contest against Collazo is probably most his highest, probably rated opponent at that point. I look at Jaron Ennis, I think 29 stoppages and 33 fights, but then had the draws with not the draws, the DUDs obviously recently with Chuck Zadian. I'm going to go Boots Ennis. I'm actually going to go points. Possible late stoppage, but I'm going to go points. I think Stanionis has got enough to get to the end of this. But if it was to be a stoppage, I think sort of maybe 10, 11, 12 possibly. But for me, I'd actually back the points. I had money to bet with with sharp betting, our partner sharp betting.
Yeah, mate, I was hoping that you were going to say, oh, he's going to stop him. There's no way this goes the distance, because then I was going to throw in that I think this is going the distance. I think, yeah, we're aligned in that. I believe this goes the full 36 minutes. I'll go one better. I do think Ennis wins, but I think he'll have to be at his very, very best to do so. I think he could have a couple of haremy moments. I could see this being a close fight, to be honest, mate. Maybe maybe an 8-4, but maybe closer than that, even a 7-5 in favour of Boots. I think last time against Chikadze, I wasn't impressed at all. Took a good few shots there, actually, against someone he'd already beaten, so maybe was he not motivated for that fight or what? Also interested to see if he is, all this talk of going up to 154, is he really struggling with the weight? Like we saw with Shiraz against the Damas, does that take away your power and your performance levels? We'll see. I think Stanionis is very game, a very good fighter, and I actually think this is a tough fight to call, but I am going with Boots Ennis to win this, and a fun unified champion at 147 pounds, adding that WBA belt to his already crowned IBF belt. But yeah, points for me, mate. I'll go UD, but a couple of, put it this way, Stanionis will win rounds for me. But yeah, I'm going for Boots. I'm going for points. So we are aligned. Guys, let us know in the comments your thoughts on this one. How does it play out? Does Boots become unified champion, or is it Stanionis? And also answering the questions: who is number one at welterweight, and can Boots Ennis go on to be a multi-weight world champion of it even? 154, 160, or even beyond that if you think so. As always, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not doing so already. Like this video, comment, all of the above, and we'll be back next week for more previews. Elliot, thanks very much for joining me. Speak to you again soon, mate.
Thank you very much, Paul. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching.